Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's the Michael Myers. Back again with a brand new live stream, man. Gonna be doing just a chill one. Nothing really in particular. But I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling at the house. Uh, just got home actually not too long ago. Turned on the TV. Got Poltergeist playing in the background. Things about to end. But yeah, man. I mean, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you guys. Hope you guys are having a cool one. Didn't do much today, like I said, just got home like not too long ago. But as a matter of fact, I'm just wrapping up a brand new video, man. The thing is, I was like literally trying to do this new video for like the past 2 days, man, but my damn phone keeps just like running out of space, out of memory, storage. So I'm constantly like retaking, deleting stuff. I'm deleting apps. I hate when that happens, even apps that are, needed. You just gotta delete them to be able to grab some filming in there. I really do need a new phone. I really don't know what it is, man. It's weird. It's weird because there's been times where I have a lot more like stuff in here. I got apps, videos, photos, and sometimes, it doesn't I can still do enough, it doesn't keep bothering about storage, and simply just by having a few apps only installed, man, it keeps bitching about storage. So I think it might be the phone. I really don't know what it is, man. I hate when that shit happens. But yeah, I am currently I think I might redo it. I don't know, I gotta see. But my latest video, man, I am currently filming it. Gonna be showing you guys something I put together, which I might show you guys a little bit right here. But I definitely had to do a video, kind of just describing it, not describing it obviously, but just going through the process on how I put this piece together. It's kind of, something I've been trying to, put together for a long time now. The idea has always been, around, circulating around my head and stuff like that. And of course, once you actually get to thinking about it, you're not really sure how to go about it. But I actually found a nice way to put, to get this new little project happening. And I can't wait to show you guys. I mean, you guys already saw it on this little short video. Here, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Got the horror collection, man. I really am digging the way just the collection overall is turning out to be, because I think for the past, I would say, couple of months, I definitely been trying to dedicate myself, man, to the collection, as far as display, organizing, and of course, for only one reason, is to get a collection update. That's something I've been, been saying, been trying to do for since forever, man. I really don't recall my last one. Actually, I think my last one was in probably 5 years ago, 2021, 22, which I did check not too long ago, man. And I actually thought my last one was more back in like 2019 or something. But no, my last update was like in 2021. So, I mean, hey, it's like almost 5 years. So I can't wait, dude. I really can't wait because I'm just really loving how, just how everything's turning out as far as display and the whole collection, man. There was one point where I really didn't I wouldn't say I gave up on, trying to, you know, get stuff into place, right? But sometimes, I would have like stuff just everywhere, man, and you just lose like you just don't really care as much, to like get everything neat and organized. But like I said, man, for the past couple of months, I've been on my shit, and I'm really digging it. I'm really digging it. The whole collection update. I know you guys mostly see this side of the masks most of the time. I mean, I do plan on moving stuff around. Nothing is in particular order here. We got like some mostly Myers masks and stuff, but I don't know. I might move stuff around, man. Maybe add some like more figures in some of these shelves. Some DVDs, man. I have last week. I went through like my DVD collection. I still have them right here, in the box, and that's one of the things I wanted to get out of the way for sure. Is like my stack of DVDs because I just had a whole lot, man. Just like everywhere, So what I did last week, I did just grab all my DVDs and Blu-rays, and I even had some displayed right here. Trying to be more organized, especially like I said, DVDs. It's like a whole lot, so I'm trying to be more organized with that. That's one of the issues I was having. Is I would look for a certain movie, a certain title, trying to watch a movie, and once you get in there, man, you can find every damn movie in the collection, but you can't find the damn one you want to watch. So that was always a bummer, man, and it shouldn't be that way. It definitely shouldn't be that way because you know as a collector, you gotta be organized. You gotta be able to, you know, uh, uh, especially with DVDs. Like I said, it's like a whole lot. You gotta have a you gotta be organized. Because like I said, I had them scattered all over the place. Whenever I would try to watch a movie, can't find the title, but it is what it is, man. But like I said, as far as like display and stuff like that, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Like I said, I can't wait for you guys to see my next video that I'm working on. John Kramer Rules. Yo, what's up, man? What's up? Just chilling, man. Happy Saturday. Uh, Not sure how long I'll be on here, man. I just wanted to, hop on here, just to, kill some time. Kill some time for the afternoon. Uh, got home not too long ago, but hope you're doing good, man. Uh, Definitely let me know what you got going on. Jigsaw Rules. As a matter of fact, man, I just like rewatched the Saw movies like last week. Yeah, it's one of those series, man, that I always go back to for some reason. Even 4, 5, 6, even the final chapter, which are obviously the weaker ones. I literally sit there and go through them. Like I said, they're kind of like, you could say one of those what do you call it, guilty pleasure kind of movies. But yeah, man, for sure. I mean, I know recently, man, actually, in the past few days, James Wan and Lee Winnell, they've been doing their thing, man. I guess it's that time of the year where they're having like film festivals or something like that. Obviously the new year is uh, 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 starting to starting to kick up. The new year, so we're gonna get a lot more. Usually January are like the crappy movies of the year, and then after that, man, is when we I guess you could say when the excitement is starts to build up. So James Wan, Lee Winnell, they're out there doing their thing. And from what it seems like, also from like the Saw social media pages, it seems like there's gonna be some kind of announcement. There's gonna be some kind of we're gonna get hit with some news. I feel like it when it comes to this next Saw installment. I know for a while now we've been knowing there's gonna be a new Saw movie. But I think, like I said, now that the new year came about, it's gonna be more official. And I guess James Wan has came back. I believe he was involved in Saw X. I'm not sure. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. But if he was, I don't think I think he was probably just like a producer or something. But I guess with this new one, man, he is back to directing. We're still not sure. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're gonna announce some good stuff, which I can't wait. I mean, it's always great. Lee Winnell, James Wan, creators of this Saw franchise. So I can't wait. I really can't wait to see what they got in store for us. Just the other day, James Wan, he did mention, you know, he definitely wants to take the franchise back to its original roots, man. That gritty, raw, style that the first one had, for sure. Even I Saw 2. Like I said, once we came to the sequels, obviously, man, successful as franchise, so the budgets just became bigger and bigger. So, but like I said, there's something magical about that first one where there really wasn't there was no clue on what this was gonna be. So I feel that's when the magic gets captured. When it's something made out of you could say rawness. Not a big budget. So that's what he's trying to get back to, is its original roots. And I know a lot of people say that you know when it comes to these franchises. When Blumhouse first came out with Halloween, you know that's like the main marketing strategy now, is take it back to the original with everything. We've heard it plenty of times, with different franchises. Whenever a new one's gonna come about, that's like the main marketing strategy, is go back to that damn original movie. So at the same time, like I said, James Wan's statement, it's great. It's like a relief, because I was kind of, hesitant, not hesitant, but I was kind of like not sure about the future of the Saw movies. I know the last one was pretty damn good. As far as it's a solid movie overall. I did rewatch it, man, not too long ago. It does have its issues, man, but it was a hit, you could say. It did really good financially. So without a doubt, man, they had to continue it, and obviously soon after Saw 10, Saw 11 was was the next move, was the next step. Then it was scrapped. Um, and then after that, man, Blumhouse. I think Blumhouse, right, got the rights to Saw, and I mean, James Wan has been at Blumhouse, right? He did Megan, right? So I guess it was the more smart way to go about it, because Saw 11 could have easily been uh just, you could say, another sequel, to be honest. You know, because once I know Saw 10 was like they went back to like between 1 and 2, but Saw 11, I mean, who knows? I don't think it would have went back to the original timeline, but who knows, man? But like I said, as far as making it it's gonna be a remake, kind of like a soft reboot. Because like I said, man, if they would have continued with its original storyline, I mean, where else could you go with it? Like I said, it was cool that Saw 10 went back to the Saw 1, Saw 2 timeline, but I mean, this there really wasn't much to do at that point. So I think a reboot, man, like I said, what they're doing now with Blumhouse and stuff like that, it's the smartest way to go about it, But I mean, we'll definitely have to see what's up, man. Yeah, I get you, John Kramer, Jigsaw rules. Yeah, man, I get you, man. Stuff gets hectic, back and forth. It is what it is. But we always try to make the best out of it. Saw is in good hands. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, considering like I said, it's at Blumhouse. It's a relaunch of the franchise, a reboot, pretty much. But hey, man, like I said, James Wan is involved. You know, you could tell he might be more involved with this one. And like I said, he has been over there at Blumhouse with bigger projects. So when he says he wants to take it back to that, you know, base, how do you call it? That the roots of Saw. Obviously, the roots of Saw is not big studio budget kind of movies. But I mean, who knows? He could go the, low budget style, which I doubt. Like I said, Saw is this big franchise, so they're not gonna, miss an opportunity. But I mean, hey, I hope they put the budget to good use, man, and really give us something, something refreshing. Like for example, Saw 10, it was a good comeback for the series, but I just feel, and it's a good watch. It's a good movie, better than a lot of the sequels in between. But I feel it was just, I think what really messed with that movie is just going back to the timeline between Saw 1 and 2. But other than that, it was a solid movie. No worries, John Kramer, man. Appreciate you, man. Stopping by. Hope you have a good one, man. Have a great rest of your weekend. And hopefully hope to catch you on the next one. But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm really looking forward to what Saw, especially me. What I was thinking too, man. Since this upcoming Saw movie is gonna be a Saw reboot, I wonder, which most likely they will change the Billy Puppet. I know Billy the Puppet, iconic, right? But I mean, they're still whatever they're doing. Lee Winnell, James Wan, they're marketing, they're promoting, they're getting ready to announce something for sure. I mean, they're rolling around with the Billy Puppet, So obviously, that's the mascot. That's the whole Saw franchise, the Saw Billy Puppet. But considering this is gonna be a reboot, who knows if they're gonna reinvent the Billy Puppet? Like I said, since Billy is the mascot and recognizable to pretty much anyone, it would be kind of a hard, decision to do. But hey, it comes with the whole reboot, relaunching, territory. But hey, I think even by them doing a reboot, they could possibly still get Billy in there, the same Billy design. Like I said, it's really when it comes to reboots, remakes, they gotta switch it up, But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a new reboot, a new start, but with the same Billy Puppet. I mean, that would be cool enough, I wouldn't be disappointed, but it would be cool enough. Like obviously, since this is a reboot, I could see the Billy Puppet up in there more than obviously the John Kramer character. And that's one thing too, man. I feel they were just trying to move on and relaunch the series, reboot it, because like I said, when it comes to the John Kramer storyline, we all love Tobin Bell, man, but there really isn't much they could do with the John Kramer character, man. And like I said, Saw 10 was good, but I feel they're getting older. I mean, Shawnee Smith is getting older, so that's what kind of was off to me a little bit by them going back to the timeline, But I really can't wait. I really can't wait. I mean, unless they redesign the puppet for this reboot, which, like I said, it comes with the territory of rebooting, is redesigning the puppet, which obviously is gonna be like Jigsaw Rule said, it's gonna be, it'll be different than what we know it and love it. Like I said, it comes with the territory for sure. So you have your ups and downs when it comes to re-engineering the puppet. I mean, back when Spiral came out, the spin-off, which at the time we all thought, including me, I thought that was the remake, of Saw, for sure. Definitely felt like it, but it's pretty much mostly a spin-off. Spiral, the book from Saw. Obviously, that whole from the book of Saw really kind of still made it part of the franchise. Just another how do you call it? Another perspective, you could say. So yeah, in Spiral, Jigsaw, John Kramer, he exists. So it really wasn't a remake, but that was an example though. But I mean, it has to do with the story, of course, the whole copycat thing. When we were revealed in Spiral, the new puppet, it was like kind of like eye opening. It was like really like surprising because like I said, it comes with the territory of reboots, remakes. They got to re-engineer the a lot of the stuff. But hey, uh, who knows? Hopefully, with a new reboot, we get art. The Billy the Puppet. But like I said, if they don't, if they go a whole other direction, new puppet and everything, I wouldn't be surprised. But we just gotta wait and see. We definitely gotta wait and see. Uh, I know a lot of people are not like too. They're not and I get it. The Saw franchise was I wouldn't say no more. I know a lot of people like to say the Saw franchise is like overrated. I don't think it is any longer. I think at one point it was back when we were getting sequel after sequel. But I mean, I don't know if people just like got enough of Saw that people just stopped talking about it. It stopped being overrated. Because yeah, I think in the 2000s. I mean, what other friend in the like if you really think about it, what's the main standout series or movie from the 2000s? Other than the remakes, our horror remakes, of course. Uh, I think it goes to Saw. It definitely goes to Saw because it had as bad as some of those movies are. When it comes to the first one, man, yeah, it was like a splash. It was definitely a game changer, because yeah, a lot of a lot of inspiration came from the original Saw. So you definitely got to give it up, man, to Saw. Even if you might not like it, I know a lot. Like I said, Saw might not be everyone's cup of tea, especially the sequels. But I think Saw is definitely an important film, man, that you can't discredit because, like I said, man, it's one of those movies that is a game changer, like the Blair Witch Project. You could say reinvented horror in a way. At a time when, I mean, 2004, at a time we were just barely getting, they were kicking off the whole horror remake trend, and that's what the whole remake trend was about to kick off. So in the middle of all that, we get an original piece of material, Saw in 2004. It just blew, I just think it blew people away, because especially the ending and stuff like that is just the whole shock of it is what really because at that point I don't think it was about the whole gore aspect. There's a nice handful of gore in the original Saw, but at that point in the original, it was more about the shock value, on you know how a nice creative story could come about within just like two dudes in a bathroom, and I just think it was clever, man. I think it was clever. I think once it was successful, we got to the sequels. It became about the gore aspect. It became pretty much like any other movie, any other series. Once the sequels come about, it's more about how more intense, how more brutal you could get with some of these kills, the traps. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, man, the first film is really really important. So, like I said, I can't wait to see what James Wan is got in store for us. You're watching my favorite horror movie, The Poltergeist. Yeah, man, I got the original Poltergeist playing right now. it's in like the final third act. I just turned the TV on, man, and it was playing. Yeah, man, Poltergeist, classic film. For sure. A lot of Poltergeist is one of those films that came with a whole lot. You still hear about it today. The whole curse and everything like that. But it definitely, it's an amazing film. One of the best films for sure. I know it wasn't really as successful as a franchise. I know they had like part two and part three, which I have seen. I believe I've seen them, but nothing, nothing as strong as this first movie. And then we had the shitty 2015 remake. Oh God, man, I hate that movie. As a matter of fact, man, I do have it on my top 10 worst remakes of all time, which is one of those videos I'm trying to work on, But man, I remember going to see Poltergeist, the remake. Man, I was still like in school at the time. It was like after school or something. We went to like the mall where the theater was at AMC, and at the time, obviously, you could say the excitement was there. We were still kids. A new horror movie was out and about, and it was it was a known title. It was a known like it was promoted well. Obviously, the marketing was strong, so you could say there was some excitement there. But dude, we literally left the movie theater. I remember that clearly, man. There was a few movies I remember leaving early. It 2017 was actually one. I we left out of the theater, not because we were bored. For Poltergeist, yeah, we left because we were bored and it was just terrible, dude. But I remember for it 2017, we didn't last that long in the theater. I don't know why we left, man. Maybe yeah, because we thought it was just kind of dumb. I don't know, but obviously now it's a whole. I have a whole different perspective, man. At the time, I really like disliked that It remake, man, that came out in 2017. Another game changer, if you ask me, man. The It remake. Uh, I mean, hey, it's really successful. It even has its own show now, right? Welcome to Derry, which I have not seen yet, but I heard a lot of positive about it. Definitely can't wait to check it out. But yeah, at the time, I really disliked, man, the It remake. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know if it was because it was I even remember, like in 2015 when they first announced Stephen King's It remake, and just that first look of Pennywise. Obviously, I was like disappointed. I was like bummed out. Like how can they, it. You could say what you want about it. The miniseries, yeah, it's flawed. It's a TV movie. A lot of the effects don't hold up, but it's as iconic as it gets. It doesn't get more iconic than that. Uh, so the whole idea of the It remake was just we didn't care. But obviously, when it came about, man, it was like this. Like I said, another splash in the water because we had by that point the remakes kind of died off. In the 2010s, we had the Evil Dead remake, a few other ones, but after the disaster failures of a lot of these remakes, they kind of stopped that. And after the whole remakes, New Line Cinema, instead of continuing trying to remake Freddy, they went into The Purge and all that, right? That's New Line Cinema. They went into the Conjuring movies, Insidious, all that crap that we had back to back in the early 2010s. The Conjuring, I think, definitely played a big role on that as well. So that was going on in between, and then 2017, the It remake came out. By that time, the Conjuring movies, all of that was like kind of going downhill. Not really, because 2017 you had the Conjuring 2, which was pretty good. You could say, yeah, the Conjuring 2 was probably the last good movies from all that the Ouija board movies, all that. That's all New Line Cinema. Like there was like this early 2010s, that little era of movies. Annabelle, Conjuring, Insidious, the Ouija board movies, The Purge, all of that. Um, I believe New Line Cinema, they, like I said, instead of trying to reinvent Freddy, that's where the money was at the time. Until the It remake came out. After the It remake came out, everyone was resurrected from the dead. Halloween, Scream, you name it. So it's definitely a pattern when it comes to this genre. Like I said, shit, going back to the 80s, the golden era for sure. That was, at the time the trend was the slasher, which was the most popular as it ever was. Uh, and then the 90s, which was also a good decade of horror, man. But they kind of, the slasher genre kind of died down. So we were getting other different kind of stuff, like more of like horror thrillers, different cool shit in the 90s. And then in the tail end of 1999, the Blair Witch Project, found footage films took it to another level. And then a lot of copycat films came after that. Mid 2000s, Saw. What do you get after that? A lot of gory ass, movies. The torture porn genre or whatever. Like I said, which at the time I don't think that wasn't the case. That wasn't the point of it. In the first Saw, there's some good gore in there, but that wasn't the point. I think it became the whole torture porn thing once the sequels came about. Because hey, they definitely they gotta sell their movie to the audience. So and it's kind of the same nowadays. I mean, I know I started to realize now, man, even though I have not seen a lot of like newer movies, there's a lot of cool original stuff out there, man, which might not be as popular and might not be as big, because obviously, especially like big budget releases, they still try to go after that shock value, the gore, but like I said, there's still a lot of indie good stuff out there. um but like I said, man, I think we're at a time where I think horror is bigger than it's ever been, and it's good. It's a good thing. It's mainstream now. Bruce Campbell. I was watching an interview. Bruce Campbell, man. Uh, you know, uh, 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 Even he's had his success with the modern, with the in these modern horror times. Like he said, it's mainstream now. At one point, back then, as classic as we love the Evil Dead movies, but there was a time back then most of the time, horror was like taboo. It was like frowned upon. It was, nothing, serious. People looked at it as dumb movies, uh and I kind of do recall that. I kind of recall, I'm 2000s, we had a little bit of that, and yeah, horror wasn't this like, it wasn't, you could say, taken as serious, you could say, by the executives or whatever. uh but like I said, a lot of success has came in the recent years. I mean, there's horror everywhere, dude. There's horror everywhere. We literally have like horror everything, horror merchandise everywhere. Like I said, I just think it's as popular than it's ever been, and you know what, I noticed that horror going mainstream, like I said, back when, like 2017, when it came out. I think that played a big role, man. It definitely did, for sure. I think it showed studios and executives that they could possibly, be a chance there to bring back a lot of dead series, a lot of stuff that people consider dead, and just, they moved on to, like I said, where the money was at the time, with all these Annabelle. Conjuring spin-offs, Insidious, all that crap. And but like I said, man, you could only do so much. People start getting bored of it. It starts to get repetitive, and that's, like I said, the original Conjuring set the print for those kind of movies. Um, but like I said, man, you could only do so much. You could only do so much. I mean, the Conjuring's pretty damn successful. They just came out with the fourth one like last year. Haven't seen it yet, and now we are getting which was supposed to be the last Conjuring, but now we're getting another one. It's funny when they say it's the last one. We damn no, it's not going to be the last one. But the next one's going to be, I think, a prequel to the first one. I could be wrong, but yeah, Conjuring is still, I think, successful. Like I said, since it was like the blueprint. It was like the start to 2010 modern horror. So it's definitely it's definitely still going. It's definitely still going. But at the same time, we also got our legacy franchises, our legacy characters back in the mix. Like I said, thanks to It 2017. Oh yeah, man, for sure. The original Poltergeist, most definitely, man. I mean, we have Steven Spielberg behind it. Of course, one of I mean, his name doesn't get any bigger. I don't think there's any bigger name than Steven Spielberg. So yeah, Poltergeist was definitely a hit, and I know, you know, certain successful movies like Poltergeist and all this, uh, the whole paranormal aspect to it. It really it followed for sure. A lot of movies after Poltergeist kind of also try to go that route, but it never really worked. I mean, like I said, a lot of different paranormal stuff, like Paranormal Activity, that really worked because it was like I said, another, you could say, stuff we haven't seen before. It was like a simple, low budget, uh, 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 concept. And same thing with the Blair Witch, right, in the late '90s. But Paranormal Activity, for the original Paranormal Activity was like 2009, right, or 2007, late 2000s. It reinvented that though, and that kicked off another string load of, you know, similar kind of movies. They even made like the comedy, a haunted house. You guys remember that comedy? Pretty much, it's a parody of Paranormal Activity. And like I said, Paranormal Activity, another great example. The first one worked really good. You could say the first two, right? Even the third one's pretty okay. But after that, it becomes repetitive. And they just keep, all they see is dollar signs. So they're going to keep going. But like I said, it gets repetitive at one point where you get to a point where just people don't care about Paranormal Activity no more. Like, you lose count. Kind of like with the Insidious movies. First one was great. But after that, I you just don't really care, I never really cared about the sequels, to be honest. I think the Insidious, the first one, is the only good one. But hey, man, it's a trip. It's a trip with, how you see horror kind of evolve. And I mean, that's the point. That's really the point, man, about cinema, audience. I mean, movies, is evolving. And like I said, every once in a while, it's great to see um, the return of like something in particular. But like I said, when they overexploit it too much, that's when, like I said, it gets repetitive and people just, that dies down, and then we gotta wait for another you could say original movie that, that's why I think the indie movies have been successful than ever, man, and surpassed a lot of studio releases, because since the studio is dumping all this crap on us, we get bored. Like I said, it gets repetitive. So we look over here and we see a film, indie, low budget, right? not as popular, uh, you know, films that you might not ever hear of, but you check it out and you gravitate more to that because, like I said, it's like a fresh breath of air, you know. And yeah, I think independent movies, like I said, that's why it became stronger than ever. And hey, even the big studios, I feel, are taking notes. They definitely be taking notes, you know, from the independent scene. Uh, but yeah, like I said, it's always a trip how the genre evolves. But but yeah, man. I mean, I think that's gonna be pretty much it. Like I said, just wanted to hop on here quick. Uh, gonna be putting together editing my latest video. Like I said, I just finished doing my next video. Hopefully, I have it ready, man. By tonight, I upload it tomorrow. Gonna be showing you guys. I don't know if you guys can see back there, Pennywise. My very first custom life-size piece. It's not really life-size yet, but that's the end game. That's where we're trying to head to. It just looks great, dude. Like really, once I put that, like I didn't think I was able to pull it off. Like I said, for a long time I've been trying to do this, but I never knew how. I never knew. Like I knew there was a cheap way to do it, and you know, I'll kind of get more into it in the video, but that's been always one of my dreams as a collector. You know, as much as majority of my collection is mass produced, licensed, great, right? Um, that's the obviously that's a good way to start it off because as great as a lot of this work out here, independent stuff, as far as replicas and stuff like that, that's the dream for me. Always been like that has always like fascinated me. Uh, Obviously more than the mass produced stuff, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll level up and that's I definitely consider that like leveling up. You start off with the mass produced stuff, and then at one point you're able to afford a lot of these high end pieces. Who knows? You never know. But as of now, like I said, as a collector, it's like a dream to own a lot of like more realistic pieces. And like I said, I just think it's a great addition to any collection to own certain pieces like that. Main reason I started making my own busts. You guys seen them, Freddy. We got Jigsaw right there. A lot more busts back there, but a life-size piece was like always like the main goal, like the next step for sure. Like I love making these busts. But a life-size piece is like always like the main goal, And like I said, it's not. I'm gotta get it up to scale. It's not fully life-size yet, but it looks solid enough, dude. It's just a great standout. And the reason it's Pennywise is because it was like the only one I was able to like put, since the costume is one piece. Because I think before that I had like part 4 Jason with the shirt, green shirt. But since it's one of those plug-in air things, you can't really add the legs on there, so it definitely still needs to some work. It only has one leg out, as you guys can see, and it has no arms yet, but I definitely will be getting to that for sure. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I have a new costume test coming out as well. Hopefully on Monday. I get that costume test out. But definitely stay tuned, man. Definitely stay tuned. I got a lot more cool stuff coming up. More top 5s, top 10s, and stuff like that. But also, I definitely been investing time to the collection, man. Because yeah, I think it's about that time to get a collection update for you guys. So stay tuned. Shout out to all of you guys, man, who support the channel. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your weekend, man. And you guys stay safe out there. It's the Michael Myers signing out.